You've probably heard someone say, I only sleep 5 hours and I feel amazing, while you sleep 8 and still wake up tired, heavy, and unfocused. It feels unfair. But it isn't luck, genetics, or willpower. It's psychology and real sleep science. Because your brain doesn't measure rest the way you think it does. Most people believe more sleep automatically equals more energy. But psychology shows that sleep quantity and sleep quality are not the same thing. Your brain doesn't count hours. It tracks sleep cycles. Each sleep cycle lasts about 90 minutes, and during the night your brain moves through several stages. But 2 stages do most of the recovery work. Deep sleep, where your body repairs tissue, strengthens the immune system, and releases growth hormone. And REM sleep, where your brain processes emotions, stores memories, and restores mental clarity. When these 2 stages are balanced, your brain can feel fully restored in 5 to 6 hours. But when sleep is disrupted by blue light, caffeine, stress, or irregular routines, your brain fails to reach or maintain these stages properly. Psychologists call this fragmented sleep. Your body may be lying still for 8 hours, but your brain never truly recovers. That's why you wake up groggy, mentally slow, and emotionally drained, even after a long night. This leads to one of the most misunderstood ideas in sleep psychology. Oversleeping can make you feel worse. When you sleep past your natural wake point, you often wake up during deep sleep. This creates sleep inertia, that heavy, foggy feeling that makes mornings miserable. People who wake up fresh aren't sleeping randomly. They're waking up at the end of a sleep cycle, not the middle. That's why planning sleep in 90-minute blocks works so well. 4.5 hours. 6 hours. 7.5 hours. These timings allow your brain to complete full cycles and transition naturally into wakefulness. This isn't a hack. It's biology working in your favor. Another powerful factor is consistency. In psychology, this is controlled by your circadian rhythm, your internal clock that decides when to release melatonin for sleep and cortisol for wakefulness. When you sleep and wake at different times every day, your brain never knows when to power down or power up. Hormone release becomes delayed and inconsistent. But when you keep a steady schedule, even on weekends, your brain learns the pattern. Melatonin rises on time. Sleep becomes deeper. Waking feels lighter. Psychologists describe this as circadian entrainment, training your brain to follow a rhythm it can trust. People who sleep fewer hours but wake refreshed almost always wake up at the same time daily. What many people don't realize is that sleep quality begins before you go to bed. Your brain needs a clear signal that it's safe to shut down. Psychologists call this cognitive offloading, reducing mental activity so the nervous system can relax. Without it, your body lies down but your mind stays alert. A simple and effective method is the 3-2-1 power down rule. 3 hours before bed. Stop eating heavy meals. Digestion keeps your nervous system active. 2 hours before bed. Stop working, planning, or solving problems. Mental effort delays deep sleep. 1 hour before bed. No screens. Blue light blocks melatonin and keeps your brain in daytime mode. Instead, choose calming inputs, light stretching, journaling, reading, or slow breathing. These habits shift your brainwaves from beta, the alert problem-solving state, to alpha, the relaxed state where sleep begins naturally. When the brain enters sleep calmly, it reaches deep and REM sleep faster, meaning fewer hours are needed. Stress is another hidden sleep thief. If your mind is full of unfinished thoughts, worries, or tomorrow's responsibilities, your brain stays partially awake all night. Psychologists recommend mental closure before sleep, writing down tasks, concerns, or plans. This tells the brain, I don't need to stay alert. This is handled. People who wake up refreshed often don't sleep longer, they sleep mentally lighter. Now, let's talk about mornings. The first 10 minutes after waking shape your alertness for the entire day. Your brain uses light to decide when to fully wake up. Morning sunlight triggers serotonin and cortisol release, chemicals that increase energy, focus, and mood. If the first light your brain sees is your phone, you delay that process. People who wake up fresh expose themselves to natural light immediately. A window, a balcony, a short step outside. This resets your circadian rhythm and tells your brain it's morning. Caffeine becomes optional, not necessary. Movement also plays a role. Even light movement or cold water exposure activates the sympathetic nervous system, releasing dopamine and norepinephrine, your brain's natural stimulants. This is why stretching, walking, or washing your face with cool water clears morning fog faster than scrolling in bed. People who wake refreshed don't stay still. They signal action to the brain. There's also a psychological trap many people fall into, staying in bed mentally after waking. When you scroll, daydream, or hesitate, your brain stays partially in sleep mode. Psychologists call this sleep inertia reinforcement. The solution is simple. Get up promptly. Sit up.
Stand. Move.
Even small actions tell your brain that sleep is over. Finally, there's a mindset shift most people miss. People who treat sleep as laziness often struggle with burnout, mood instability, and poor focus. Sleep isn't weakness. Sleep is your brain's recovery system. It restores emotional balance, sharpens thinking, improves decision-making, and protects mental health. So the goal isn't to sleep less at all costs. The goal is to sleep efficiently. When your brain sleeps deeply, calmly, and on schedule, it simply doesn't need as many hours. So if you want to wake up fresh on fewer hours, stop chasing time in bed. Start aligning cycles. Respect your internal clock. Calm the mind before sleep. Use light and movement to wake the brain. Because when sleep is done right, less becomes more. If you enjoy psychology that actually improves your daily life, subscribe to the channel. We don't just talk about habits. We explain how the mind really works.